Hello. My pile of thrifted books has grown. I've been gathering these for maybe a couple of years now. Anytime I see a book that I just gravitate toward, I'll get it. They're each about $1 or less. I know that you, my viewers, have a lot of good ideas, and I love the whole aspect of that. Over the course of my channel, I've been able to bounce ideas off of you. You've sparked ideas in my projects. And so I want to go through these and share my thoughts on them, but also I would love to read your thoughts about them in the comments. What would you use these for? Or if there's anything in the pages, what would you do with them? So let's have ourselves a little brainstorming sesh and share ideas about thrifted book projects. Let's start with birds. Not only is this topic interesting to me, but when I saw the cover, I thought this could be a cool inlay maybe on the cover of a new book. There are some scribbles on the pages, so not all the pages are perfect, but for the most part, they are all intact and still in pretty good condition. The more I flip through this, the more I don't want to tear it apart. And also someone left their little bookmark in here of, what are these, beavers? Otters? Beavers? It's always interesting to see what you can find in donated books. The more I flip through this book, the more I don't want to tear it apart because it seems like such a good reference, especially for sketching or drawing birds. I've been wanting to do something with quail for a while, and here they are, good reference. So I'm on the fence on this one. The Little Book of Hugs. I think the dust jacket here has kept the boards in good condition. So if I wanted to use the print on the outside cover, I could. To have some kind of theme of koalas would be fun in this book. It's an interesting square shape. Not really thrilled about the hearts in here. Also the pages, the type is a little outdated, and I wouldn't feel guilty removing the pages of this book, I guess is what I'm saying. Be Happy, another kind of book that is really easy to read. I mean, there's always a place for these kind of books. It's just a lot of them end up in thrift stores. I think when I got this, the green color attracted me to it, and just the simple square shape, but I'm not sure about using the inside pages. They are really basic, and there's a bunch of quotes on the pages, which is fine. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with this book. Another square book that I found was about polar bears and being cool, and it uses the polar bears as I guess a guide of the whole idea of what being cool is. Again, it's really easy to read, and I'm sure this brightens someone's day at one point and then ended up in the thrift store. I'm sure the dust jacket also kept the boards in good condition, and when I saw the back cover, I thought that would be kind of a fun front cover if I ended up redoing this. I mean, look at that face. Look at that cute polar bear. I do have a question for anyone out there who has put their thrifted books in the freezer. How'd that go for you? I've read a lot of mixed suggestions on whether to do that. I have heard about people doing that in the book community for many years. I've personally never tried it to kill any weird things possibly going on in these thrifted books. I don't know if this counts for anything, but I do live in a very hot climate in the desert. Let's see what the temperature is. Temperature is 110 degrees out right now. It's summer, it's super hot, and these have been in my car, so I don't know if that kills anything or not. Let me know in the comments. Lemonade in the Desert. I don't really know what this book is about, but I was drawn to, again, the condition of the boards being really good, and also if I needed a theme challenge, of course I like lemons, and I do live in the desert, so I could definitely think of some imagery and visuals for turning this into a junk journal. It's always interesting to see people's handwritten notes in these books. I don't know these people, but I feel like there's some sentiment left in these books from these notes. Maybe some of these graphic lemonade signs could work into some kind of idea of the pages. The binding is in good condition, and after noticing the gingham pattern on the border of the pages, I could just replace the inside text with whatever I want, art, writing, and this could be an altered book, meaning I don't have to rip up the binding to make a new one. I could just leave it as is and put my own stuff on the inside pages. The coffee bean. When I saw this, I thought the covers could be in decent condition because there's a book jacket around it, and there is also a note, as with many of these books. And coffee, if that's the theme to be inspired by, I could definitely work with that. I like coffee, and maybe some like coffee stained pages could be fun. I did search the title, and it does have a good takeaway. This is a really easy read, and I'll link a video if you want to check it out. But it does have a good story behind it. I did notice some water damage on the back cover. I'm not sure if that has warped the board or not. It doesn't seem to, but that's something to consider with these covers. And although the binding is in decent condition, I don't think I would want to use these pages because they do feel pretty thin or flimsy, and they are kind of yellowing. Gift from the Sea. I haven't looked up this title, so I don't really know much about the story inside of it or the author. I did notice there were a couple of things left inside this book, which I thought was kind of sweet. You can pause this if you'd like to read it. The pages seem okay. The type is really big, so maybe it's an easy read. But the main thing, I liked the size of the book, the conditions of the covers, and the theme, seashells. I think that would be a really fun idea for pages inside. And here's the second thing I found inside. Someone left a postcard from the 70s of seashells. I covered up the address out of respect for whoever left this in, but if you want to read this, pause it. It was actually kind of funny to read someone sending a postcard from the 70s from Hawaii. Removing the dust jacket, I really like the covers much better without it. It's this interesting canvas paper with metallic seashells. That could be really fun to work with in kind of a junk journal. Let me know what you would turn this into. The Ultimate Book of Fresh and Dried Flowers. This is from the 90s, and I really like the end pages, so that could be something. The binding has seen better days, so it's a bit roughed up, and I don't know if I would fix it or not. Maybe just use the covers as individual front and back covers of an exposed binding. The inside pages are very similar to like a magazine. They're glossy pages, lots of dried floral arrangements, which actually did work into my previous junk journal theme. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I used more than a few pages from this book, and maybe I could just keep the pages on hand for when I want some more ephemera. A Guide to Weather. I thought the inside pages of this book could be interesting, lots of skies. I did notice some damage on the bottom of the covers, so I could just end up removing the paper and cutting it, or cutting the board to a smaller book size. But the overall shape of this book I thought was interesting. It's kind of a tall, skinny book. There's a lot of text, but also a lot of images that could be used as ephemera, maybe some reference. I like painting skies and clouds. I do have a lot of scrapbook paper on hand that has stars and the night sky, or even like zodiac, celestial kind of stuff, clouds, rainbows, stars. I would totally like to make a book dealing with that imagery. Decorating for Christmas. So I only bought this book because I've had in mind that I really want to use this thread that I've been saving for a long time. It's green and red, very holiday, very festive, very Christmas. And I think if I found like a Christmas thrift book, I could upcycle into a very festive junk journal. So when I saw this, it's definitely from the 90s. So some of the imagery it's dated, from the 90s, but it can also still work. There's interesting tree ideas in here that could be fun to work with on pages. It has some templates in the back of the book. And also the covers and the pages are in good condition, which I always appreciate and look for. Let me know which of these you were most excited about, what kind of projects you think I should make out of them, and hope you like this more kind of casual video this week. I will see you in the next one. Bye!